time is near, the time is now to let you all know about some of my inventions that I have invented. Despite my tragic past, despite what I've been through, and just to show you how I'm using my technical skills to save lives, the lives of many, and how I'm making a difference in many lives of others, Some of my inventions include the Sniper Lock 3-in-1 infrared teleporting laser with stealth technology, the GG robot, the Scorpion 1 3-part tracking system A, the metal pathogen disease and bomb fragments rocket launcher detecting machine, the Scorpion 1 3-part tracking system part B, the TDVD device, and the time traveling investigative device. Sniper Lock 3-in-1 infrared teleporting laser with stealth technology has three major functions. They are medical research, a medical curing device, rescue operation, metallic robotic full body armor with jetpack, and built-in robotic tentacles. This device will scan the interior of a human or animal searching for unknown disease and unknown pathogens. When the disease or pathogen has been discovered by this device will lock on the disease and or pathogen like a sniper rifle, and this device will eradicate the disease and or pathogen simultaneously without killing the host. After the disease or pathogen has been eradicated from the host body, it will completely heal any damage to the interior of the human and animal body. After the damage has been repaired and after the disease and all pathogen has been eradicated from the host body, this device will teleport an organ outside of the human or animal body without cutting the patient, causing less of a mess to clean up and much more sanitary, which will also prevent doctors who perform surgery or autopsy from getting infected with the disease or pathogen, because they don't come into contact with the blood. This device will also scan the interior of a building from the bottom to the top, searching for any threat and any non-threatening lifestyle by detecting moving unknowns and body organs that might be faint or completely recognizable. When life signs have been discovered by this device will lock on the life sign like a sniper rifle, and this device will teleport any animal and human whose life is in danger, and teleport them to safety. After all hostages are out of harm's way, this device will deactivate any bombs, deactivate any landmines, deactivate any grenades, and put the guns into safety. So law enforcement can arrest any criminal with less fatalities on both sides. This device will also produce metallic robotic full body armor with jetpack and built-in robotic tentacles around any law enforcement and around any military personnel. The tentacle are so strong it could pick up a 18-wheeler diesel truck off someone's leg. This armor is fireproof, waterproof, and bomb-proof, and bullet and rocket launcher proof, and NASA proof. This armor is also fire-resistant, water-resistant, bomb-resistant, bullet and rocket launcher resistant, and acid-resistant. This armor has stealth chip installed in the robotic tentacles, so it can stand to any length and test any type of footage one may face without nobody seeing it. Because the stealth chip will be programmed to tell the wearer of this armor to go invisible. I'm a real life MacGyver. If nobody know who really MacGyver really is, the original person who plays MacGyver is Richard Dean Anderson, with Lucas Till playing in the remake. And MacGyver is about a person who works for the Phoenix Enterprise, which is a think tank that actually create inventions by using normal items around him. And I can do that. I'm that resourceful. In real life, I'm that resourceful. And the next invention is one of my MacGyver-like invention. The GG robot comes in many forms. I took 2 water hoses and put a sensor at the end of it, so it could sense water pressure, I also attached the water hoses to 2 fishing poles, I put 2 robotic arms that is holding the fishing poles, I will have my programmers in my think tank, to program the robotic arms to roll up the fishing pole, The fishing line of the fishing pole is wrapped around the water valve, and when the sensor that is at the edge of the water hose, senses the water pressure gets too high, that means somebody is utilizing too much water, and the robotic arm that is holding the fishing pole, will roll up the fishing line, turning off the water valve. Saving the water during the water drought. The GG robot will also be able to stop people from falling off the ladder, and solve the problem of utilizing too much pesticide, when it comes to the farming community. For example, I took a mop bucket and I put a bag of pesticides into it, I put a vacuum tube inside of it. A robotic arm will be holding a mallet, and at the end of the vacuum hose, it will have a sensor, The sensor will sense how fast the pesticides is blowing out of it. My programmers in my think tank will program the robotic arm to slam down the mallet onto the off switch of the vacuum, turning off the vacuum. Also, we'll attach a robotic extended tentacles on the mop bucket, which will extend to any length. The robotic extended tentacles will extend to the highest tree and trim the branches without climbing up the ladder, which will prevent people from falling off the ladder. The robotic extended tentacle will be so strong it could pick up the heaviest theater and movie lights and bring it up to the top of the theater and hook it to the top of the theater so it could be ready for the upcoming show. And the lighting staff in the theater and movie could put up the theater life safety instead of climbing up the ladder, which will prevent them from falling off of it. I created the Scorpion 1 3-part tracking system, and there are three types of the Scorpion 1 3-part tracking system, and they are Genius Tracker, Escape Convicts, Probation Violator Tracker, and Stolen Loot Tracking System. All three of these Scorpion 1 3-part tracking system has the same type of tracking capability. First is a microchip, and the second would be the satellite in space, and the third would be the computer program. And the person is arrested. and put in a prison cell, They will be put to sleep by their medical doctors and put a microchip inside of them. So if they ever decide to escape from jail, then the microchip will be tracked by the satellites in space, and then which will send a signal to the computer program to tell the police and the FBI and other federal agencies where that escaped convict went to. And if the probation violators or parole violate parole or probation, that same three-part tracking system will track where they might be, and will tell the police officers where they're located. And when a person is born, they will have a microchip installed to them, which will actually tell how high intelligence someone is. It will actually read the IQ level and their brainiac function and sees all their gifts and all their strengths, and tell how small someone really is. And which will send a signal to the satellite in space, which will track that chip. So my think tank and my organization will actually can come to them and enroll them in my school for geniuses. So we could teach them to discover their strength and teach them to use their ability to make this world safer again while improving the lives of others. When a person opens a store, they will have the microchip installed onto every single part of their merchandise, and will also be put on every single money. But when it comes to money, it won't be a microchip. It will actually be a slip that will be invisible to the naked eye. So, and then once the item or the merchandise or even the money from the banks or even money from stores gets stolen, that strip on the money or even that microchip that's installed on the merchandise will be sending a signal to the satellite in space, which will track the thief to the hideout, and then the merchandise and the money could be returned to the owners of it. A metal pathogen, disease, bomb fragments, and rocket launcher detecting machine is actually an upgrade to the metal detectors, because it won't just detect metal, but it will also detect diseases like the coronavirus. It will also detect pathogens such as anthrax. It will even detect rocket launchers and bomb fragments. So it could send a signal to the quarantine people, or send a signal to the federal agencies, so we could apprehend the terrorists and put a stop to further outbreaks of diseases and pathogens. Death events. A person like me, the K, the P, the MIC, also known as the Scorpion Kid, is off key when trying to sing or rap to a beat. And the volume death is when someone can't hear how loud he or she can get, but everybody else could really hear. So it sounds like to them that I'm screaming or yelling at them, which is not the case, because I can't hear my own volume level. And the TDVD device, which stands for tone deaf and volume deaf, it will be a device so I could stay on tone and stay off and prevent me from getting off beat while helping me hear my volume level. So people don't think I'm yelling at them. And the time traveling investigative device will be utilizing a GPS while utilizing a Game Boy or Nintendo DS or another handheld game system as a time indicator, and they both will be attached to a time device that will be built into a laser format, and then the GPS will tell a person where they are with longitude and latitude, while the Nintendo DS will be actually the time, the date, the year, the month, so people could travel to the right destination. And once it opens a portal into time, the time investigator will go through it with that robotic armor that will turn invisible. So they could investigate government corruption like Trump and other government agencies that we couldn't get enough evidence for, and to impeach them. So the time investigator will go back in time into stealth mode and follow them at every move, so they could finally gather all that evidence that they surely need to actually impeach them. And so as you can see, I'm using my technical ability to help others, save others, and prevent government corruption. And another device is the Eagle Eye Stealth Robotic Board, which will be turning invisible to the naked eye. It will spy on any government corruption, any government conspiracy, and it will have a video camera built inside of it, because just like the police, the law enforcement, and other government officials need to protect themselves. Citizens in the disabled community, like ourselves, has a right to protect ourselves too. And according to the 6th Amendment, constitutional right to show all evidence and right to call witnesses to testify. And how do we be able to protect ourselves? Without be able to use a video camera inside the building is to film the government violating the Constitution and other civil rights laws, which means by not allowing us to film them, they're actually violating the 6th Amendment right, because we could use that video evidence to prove beyond a reasonable doubt the government violated the law. And so this Eagle Eye Stealth Robotic Board will actually catch them in that, catch their government corruption in that act, and civil rights violation in that act, which make them held accountable. It will be put in every single police call, every single government agency, so us citizens and the prisoner could be protected while they're in custody. And people who are not in jail could finally be protected because we could use that video evidence to put those judges, put those cops, put the law enforcement who try to violate our constitutional rights, and put them all on the other side of the prison wall, So as you can see, I'm using my technical ability to save lives, put into government corruption, and protect our constitutional rights, so we could take the USA back to yesterday. And as now you all can see how small I really am, despite my ADHD and despite my other learning disabilities.